You know that feeling when you write a scene for your novel and you even spend like the next day like thinking about how great you think it is and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I feel like I had the best ideas here. Just one thing after another. The scene is like one of my favorites so far in the book. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I thought of something like this. I can't believe I came up with something like this." And then you look back at it later and you're like, "Huh. Okay, not as good as I remember it, or not as good as I thought it was." That's been me multiple times with my own books, including in the book that I'm writing right now, the second book in the Cyberpunk trilogy that I'm working on. First book, The Glass God, is available in the link in the description below. But yes, just recently wrote a scene, and then I actually kind of went back and did some rewriting, and I had this idea over here and this idea over there, and and I was really like laser focused on like character motivations in this scene and like moving the characters through this part of the story that's so significant for the rest of the book, and thinking, wow, like this is so good. Like I you know like I haven't come up with something on this scale before. Like, this is awesome. And then I, read the scene out loud to my wife. And my wife, she has her bachelor's degree in English. She has done a lot of writing herself, knows a lot about storytelling. She was a huge help to me when it came to my first book. And she noticed some issues. She noticed some mistakes. She noticed, some inconsistencies, some plot logic issues and stuff like that. And it definitely brought me down a little bit. It definitely made me feel kind of discouraged, where it's like, okay, I know I'm good at writing. I know that I'm good at storytelling. So it sucks that even though this is not my first book, it's my second, or at least my first published book and not my second, or excuse me, my second book that's going to be published, and not my first. I've already published books before, and I'm still making mistakes, and I'm still running into issues and stuff like that. I'm still kind of like creating inconsistencies in my own stories and stuff like that. That can be really, really discouraging, especially since, again, I've already had so much experience behind me. But it also emphasizes the fact that you can be someone who's written and even published like 5 books and are still capable of and can still be capable of making mistakes, causing inconsistencies, causing plot holes or plot logic issues and stuff like that that have to be addressed and fixed. It's all part of the journey. We're never going to be perfect as writers or as storytellers. Writing every book, no matter who you are, is a gigantic task that can't be that it can't be underestimated, that can't be like taken for granted. And so if you're the kind of person who's writing a novel right now and you have written, a scene or several, I'm sure you've probably written several, not because I doubt your abilities, but because that's just something that all writers encounter at one point or another. If you've written a scene or several where you at first thought it was brilliant, it was amazing, you're kind of like patting yourself on the back because you came up with it, only to later look back on it and go, oh, not as good as I thought it was going to be. Like if you feel driven to scrap it, don't scrap it quite yet until you go through the scene. I have a very itchy nose today. I apologize. Don't go like don't erase the scene completely. Especially out of frustration, like in a moment of, in an emotionally driven moment, don't, just erase the scene altogether. Go through it, kind of parse through it, figure out what needs to be fixed. If the scene can be redeemed with some fixes, then by all means, fix it. You can still redeem the scene and it can still be great. If you decide that the scene simply doesn't work no matter what you do, then maybe it is time to cut it. But no matter what, I just want to encourage you to not give up on those scenes. Like, if you believed at the beginning that the scene was amazing, that it was brilliant, that there was something there, typically that means that there is still something in there to ration. There's still something in there to take, whether it's fixing the scene and being able to have a much better version of it, or taking what made the scene special in your head and applying that to another scene later, or even a scene before it. There's a lot, as writers, we have so much freedom with the material that we are creating to tell a compelling story. So use that material, take advantage of it. You are building a story, and therefore you're building this lore. You have all this world building. Make sure to like outline this stuff so that even if it doesn't work in one scene, it might work in another. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful to you. I do an entry every night, going through my journey, working on my book, and helping people with tips and advice. Anyone who's writing their own novel, or is thinking about writing their own novel. And if you haven't started writing the novel that you've been thinking about for a while, it's time to start. And I hope that you join me on this journey as I continue through doing this almost every day. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.